Okay, so boom. I really want to keep this short, and I know there are some challenges with me like doing anything like this, particularly in a conversational sense. I have so much to say, and it's because I'm so happy to be with you, and I'm just so keen to get to know you more. But right now, I will give you this message. Of course, this is the Angels of Politics broadcast. I am the creative and artistic manifestation of Angels of Politics. You are as well. Remember, you are the news. You are anything and everything that you want to be. You must claim it. You must believe it. Or write it down. Okay? Read it over. Okay? Read it, write it, speak it into existence. And once you triangulate those principles, once you find out your system of synthesis, then you will be on your way. It won't happen overnight. It won't happen today. Maybe it might happen tomorrow. Chances are it won't. Continue it. Fall in love with the process, and within the process you will adapt, you will adopt, you will learn, you will continue to develop, you will enhance yourself, you will awaken parts of your mind frame. You will create new neural pathways within the brain, new pathologies, new ideologies, new ways to see the world. And you're gonna be like, wow, like how did I come upon this? How did I like even like how did I like start to receive this? Like you might even be so thankful, like tears might start running down your face while you meditate, because you're gonna be like, I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. I'm just so blessed. I'm just so thankful. You're gonna yourself. You're gonna humble yourself, and you're gonna say, Lord, you didn't have to do this. You're gonna step outside and say, wow, like the sun is shining. The sun is shining for you. You're gonna step out at the nighttime. The moon is shining. The moon is shining for you. The waves on the ocean, the water is flowing for you, through you. So boom. I wanted to talk about like the divine feminine, of course, but like the feminine waters is what I really want to speak about. The feminine waters. So I have mentioned before about like the solar squad, or the solar energy and the solar chakra. Well, the solar plexus is within the tummy, but I will speak more to like when I talk about women who, or it could be guys too, but like women who have more of that solar energy. They're the bright. I'm not gonna say they're just like the bright light, but these are the ones who are a bit more outspoken. These are people who are more vibrant, vivacious, just you know, one of those people who walk into the room and it's like, oh, like we can feel this person, we can feel them, because it's like they're coming in hot, like it's like literally they're coming in hot. And there are certain women who are, and you would think the archetype would be like a cheerleaders, like they're peppy, and they're congenial, and they're charismatic, and they like the attention, and they're just happy. They're just happy go lucky type of people. And that's it's an attractive spirit. It's an attractive energy to be around a woman or women who have that solar energy, who fully embody that solar energy. Maybe they spend a lot of time in the sun. Maybe they just grew up that way. Maybe they just have a naturally genuine and open and extroverted disposition. Maybe that they might be just low in neuroticism. Maybe they just might be extremely open to experiences. They might be high in trait openness that makes them very extroverted, very creative, very emotionally driven to learning about people, and just being that you know that feminine energy, and just having that infused in their everyday life is very attractive. But then there's like the lunar energy too. There's the lunar energy, and there are women who are a bit more calm, who are a bit more methodical, who are very I want to say very reserved, but maybe they're not too into the crowds. Maybe they might be more introverted. Maybe they might be more into sticking to what is their purpose. And maybe their purpose isn't like, hey, I'm looking to make a lot of motherfucking friends, right? Maybe they like their homegirls. Maybe they like their friends here and there. Like it's a tight knit circle. But maybe being an extrovert is not what they are. Being highly sociable is not what they may be. They might be when they want to be, because they can control that. But like maybe they really prefer just being in their space. Maybe they're not too open to experiences. Maybe they're relatively low in trait openness because they like what they like and they know what they like and they go after what they like and they stick to what they like. And that is great. And these types of women tend to be high in conscientiousness. They're very industrious. They're diligent workers. They're very routine. They have their structure. They love structure. They need that. Maybe not a self-imposed structure. Maybe they'll have their own structure that they create. Or maybe they'll follow the guidelines that are set for them in the universal order. But at the same time, they have their ways about things. And I find like just the parallels between these women, the solar women, the that solar energy with the lunar energy, with that and really that lunar and solar and that culmination. I feel like that coalescence is where you find the manifestation of the archetype that that woman is really supposed to be, or who she really is. It's a culmination. Not to say every person is going to be high. I mean, there's going to be some people who are going to be, more, who are leaning more towards the solar, and there might be women who are leaning more along the lunar side. But there's still the balance of equanimity there. You can't be all fire every day. You can't be all ice or all water every day. There's going to need to be a balance, because there's going to be times where you have to show your face, and showing your face, you might be like, okay, this is how it is. But then there's gonna be a time where you can show. I'm not gonna say you can't show your face every day, but you can't be the outspoken. This is the way it has to go every single day. That's where the lunar comes in. But like, hey, then maybe I need to be more reflective. Maybe I need to be more introspective, self-effacing. Maybe I should be a bit more hands-off. Maybe I should listen more. Maybe I should be able to understand that it's not about me all the time, right? So the feminine waters is where I feel like is the flow. It's the flow. The feminine waters is that solar, the lunar, that yin and the yang. That's the flow. That's the positive proton and the negative electron, and flowing is where you get the matter. I mean, protons, electrons, neutrons. That's where the matter. That's where the energy. And I feel like the culmination, or the synthesis of these opposing energies. The opposing energies, or the opposing traits, the higher self, the lower self, the conscious, the subconscious, like these types of these. This is a part of who we are as individuals, but particularly, within you as a person, finding balance is so, for me, it's been so hard, right? So when I talk about feminine waters, I try to provide you. I'm sitting on my jumper right now, so it's like, like really agitating my back. I talk about how, like, there was like a long period of time whereby, like, I was having issues. When I say long period, that means currently. Having issues with just just receiving that certain, like, respect from women, and some people might say, well, what kind of respect were you trying to receive, Gabe? Like, and I wanted to have it all, like, and the term could be a parigraha in the Hindu text, when I was learning about the yamas, niyamas, and just the 8 branches of yoga. But Parigraha means this non-greed, non-covetousness, and wanting things and hoarding things, and just wanting to have everything for yourself. And lust has been a huge, I won't just say a detractor. It's been a gift and a curse. It's been a positive and a negative. Put it this way, I couldn't find the equanimity. There wasn't the equilibrium. There wasn't a homeostasis state within that. It's like, if I wasn't into you, then it was like, oh, I wasn't mean. It was just like, we're cool, and we're chill. But if I liked something, if I liked what I liked, and you piqued my interest, then it's like, oh my gosh, like, I'm all over you, and I need this, and I'm gonna go after it, and I'm relentless with this, and and I feel like I wanted the women that I was attracted to, or the women that I wanted to, or have a certain type of response from, were not giving it to me, and rightfully so. And I would I would draw a similarity, or I will find some type of yeah, some type of parallel with me swimming, right? So I'm not afraid of the water. I actually love the water. I really enjoy the water, but I can't swim that well. And when I say I can't swim that well, it's like for some reason, maybe it could be a lot of it could be a mental thing. A lot of it could just be like the mechanics of it. A lot of things could be physiologically, and which it shouldn't be, because I've seen people who are bigger than me, smaller than me, who are, people have the mindset black people can't swim. I've seen a lot of black people. My brother can swim like a fish. So it's like, my parents can swim. I'm the only person in the family that can't swim for some reason. Or I have like this challenge swimming. But my challenge is whenever I get into the water, I just tend to sink. It's like I can, like, the basics of like floating and like treading water to me is like the most tiring thing. Like swimming, I had when I was living overseas, I had a friend of mine, or my colleagues, my work colleagues, and we had this pool or fitness area that was attached to the school that we worked. And after school, like sometimes we would go and swim laps. And I remember one girl was like, "Hey, but it looks like when you're in the water, like you're doing so much to tire yourself out. Like it shouldn't be. You don't necessarily need to do all of that just to go through the water. Like you're making it harder than what it is." That's what she was saying to me. You're making it harder than what it is. Like you're tiring yourself out. You're imposing, or you're encumbering yourself. You have limited yourself. You have placed these restrictions on yourself, because the water isn't that hard to move through, to glide through, and particularly if you know what you're doing, especially if you're able to be at ease and to flow with the water. If the water's moving this way and you're trying to go against it, then yeah, you're going to have some issues. But if you flow with the water, if you allow yourself to be immersed and have there's a technique, total immersion, then it's not you fighting the water, it's you becoming one, and being in accordance with the water. And I was like, damn, that saying like rung true, because I mean it really was. I mean, everybody else, I'm looking at people, they're just gliding through the water. It's like they just pushed off the edge and they just can seemingly just go through the water without even kicking. They just float. And here I am, I'm in the water and I'm kicking off, and I'm just, and there's nothing that I can do. I felt like I was like, what is going on? And I had a homie who would tell me at a bar, and this was like recently. He was like, "Gabe, man, you don't have to do all that when you talk to the girls, man. Like, like you don't have to be." Same thing. You're making it harder than what it is. Like when you say you're not getting play from girls, it's not necessarily the girls. Well, the girls sometimes aren't really like fucking with me, but like for the most part, it's you. Like 99% of the time, it's you, Gabe. Like you don't have to be this, like, he calls it Cyclops, but it's like you don't have to be this X-Men where you're just, you take off your glasses and you're just shooting at everything. You have no control, and you're saying, you have these streams of consciousness, and you're talking about yoga and your dreams, and you're talking about traveling, and you're just, out of control. Like with some of these girls, you're out of control. You're halfway drunk, or you're pretty drunk, and it's like, dude, you don't, like, girls would have respected you if you just would have just like been at ease with it. If you just would have relaxed. You're not relaxed. You haven't surrendered. Like, you want to be in control of everything. You have this I have this hyper, I don't know if it's called being a hyperachiever. I guess so. Like being a hyperachiever, having these high expectations of myself, but being a hyperachiever and then being, very controlling at the same time, or you want to control your outcome. It's like, well, that's not necessarily how the world is going to be. And I use, I guess, when I'm talking about balance, the balance with the women, the balance is within the water, and that equanimity with these polarities within my personalities. Like, oh, like I cannot say anything to girls. I can be quiet and I say, not make eye contact and not look their way. Or I could just be in the water and just like not move my arms and legs and just sink to the bottom. Or then I can go the opposite, the complete opposite in the spectrum, and now I'm doing everything which is not helping me in the water. Or now instead of not saying anything to the girl and not paying her any mind, then I turn into this, you know, hyper extroverted, talking a million miles a minute, saying whatever I want to say, but not taking time to listen and actually like ask you questions to hear what your responses are. Like, I'm not even internalizing what your responses are. Like, it gets to the point where I'm talking to girls and they'll tell me their name and automatically I have not even heard their name. They've said their name, have no register, like not even registering what they are saying. It's because I'm just so focused on what is going on here. That's my ego screaming at them. And I'm not screaming like, hey, like, look at me. It's more my ego is like, you need to be in control of this if you want to get laid, and it's not working, right? So the divine waters are like this. The Chinese finger trap. Shout out to my homeboy that I met. I think his name was Ben at the Yogaville ashram. But he had a tattoo of the Chinese finger trap. And people who don't know about the Chinese finger trap, is like this small little tube that you can trap your fingers in, and the harder that you pull, the with the most force. And the guy Ben was a strong guy. He was like an archetype dude. He could have been like, on the cover of some magazine or something. But it's like the guys who who are headstrong and or stubborn. My mom just said that about me this morning. Oh, you have a hard head and you want to do things your way and you want to use force. And with the Chinese finger trap, if you're trying to do things your way, if you think that this is the only way it's going to work because this is how you feel this way and this is how it should be, and you're pulling, that's the you are more susceptible to the trap. The trap is tighter. Actually, the more force that you use to push and pull, the firmer the trap will be on you. But surprisingly enough, when you think like, damn, I'm doing everything I can. I'm trying to increase my strength. Maybe I should get stronger. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I should do more push-ups. Maybe I should do more sit-ups. Maybe I should do more pull-ups. That will get me. And it's like, no, it's not working. Or it's like, damn, the girls aren't responding to you. Maybe I should talk to more girls. Maybe I should talk to even more girls. Oh, she doesn't like it. Maybe I should push more. Oh, she's not responding. Maybe I should push more. Like, no, because that was the mindset. That was the one track mind. It's like, you cannot do things your way. You can't go into the water thinking you're just gonna float through that motherfucker just because you think that it's gonna be that way for you, and it's not. Like, you have to surrender your ego, surrender your pride, surrender the fact that you don't know everything and you're not some expert and you're not some fucking hitch slash pickup artist slash girl woman guru slash yo, I know everything about ladies and you're gonna be respecting me. Like, it's not the fucking case, bro. And the women are letting you know that. So I have to release, and as you through all this humiliation, you will humble yourself. Through that humiliation and that embarrassment, that ego will be dissolved if you allow it to, and you can deconstruct. And it's almost like a dresser. You can just pull out the drawer and say, like, what's in here? Like, what are all these thoughts? What is everything that's holding me back? Let's take this out. Where does this come from? What is this old clothes? I don't even wear jerseys anymore. Take this. I don't even talk like this anymore. Like, what the fuck is this? I don't even hang out with people like this, and I'm still like regurgitating this ideology and this. I don't even need this. Take this out. Like, and as you can deconstruct the ego, you start to relax. You start to surrender, and then you get out of the trap. You get out of the trap and you're able to float and you're able to swim and you're able to immerse yourself in the waters and you're able to do what you need to be doing. So thank you for that, Ben. Thank you and thank you, ladies who were in the past who, like, you probably didn't even know what you were doing to me, like, and I'm taking everything into account. But there were so many girls who I wanted to pull up on in Miami, and I was trying to kiss you in the face, and you were like, bro, you gotta chill. And there were so many girls when I was at, the bars or whatever the places they were, or when I was on the, living on the ship as a seafarer, and I'm trying to pull up on some of those, ladies from wherever they were working, or the Romanian bombshell, or the Brazilian, HR lady, and all these type of girls who were like, yo, get the fuck out of my face. Like, no, dude, you're not having it. Like, I'm not for it. Like, and instead of me, the South African girl who literally was slamming the door in my face, like on my fucking nose, like, no, bro, you're not coming in. You're not coming in. Like, that had to happen to me so many times for me to realize, like, Gabe, like, surrender it, surrender it, and become one with the waters, with the divine waters, and take your personality and find a balance, find the equanimity, and have a harmonious life. Find a life of prosperity through easeful, peaceful purposefulness. Find your purpose and focus on that. And then, you know, then I might start floating. Then I might start floating in that water. Then I might start to get myself, adjusted. And then I might insinuate myself in the water. So thank you for that. Namaste. Namaskar.